Yesenia Hernandez. Yesenia?
Thank you, Ms. Chow. Bear with me, I'm trying not to get emotional here. I've always been a performer. Nothing like speaking for a crowd this large. But I used to perform puppet shows for my parents when I was a little girl. I would gather socks and make my own puppet stage out of cardboard boxes, draw faces on the socks, and burst in the dining room saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you." They would stop their screaming and fighting, watch my show, start laughing, and then I knew it was safe to leave. I knew once they were laughing, I had broken the tension, and my mother was safe again. I wanted my parents to be happy because I felt the alcohol brought their deepest depressions out. This caused what I believed was the devil at the time, walk free. I wanted them to change. I wanted them to treat me like the princess I deserved to be. My mom wasn't the only victim in the house, the place I called home. As a child, there was a man that would wake me in the middle of the night. He would remind me of the awful person he thought I was. He would sit at the edge of my bed and call me all the awful names listed in the book of evil. I, a 10-year-old little princess, would pretend to sleep. And silently, I swallowed my tears. I had no one to cry to because all my brothers and sisters had run away. The constant abuse this man brought to my mother was a pain to the hearts of my brothers and sisters, but a continuous one for me. Screams, cries, abuse, and fear filled the place I called home, kept me from counting sheep. So I was alone, seeing the awful things a human being can say or do to another human. I was going to be different, but I never knew what kind of different. I was left with a man who made me hate God. This man who I worshiped. This is the man who crushed my small, tender heart and who ignored all the good grades I brought home. This is the man who I love so much. This is the man I call Dad. Even as a young girl, I began to believe I was worthless. I was ugly, I was dumb, and I was gonna grow up to be a nobody. I turned to drugs so that I could hide the depressions at home. There's one thing about me that to this day, I don't know where it comes from. I always want to make the right choice no matter what. I like to look fears in the eyes, even if it means getting hurt doing it. I wasn't going to allow drugs to keep me from doing just that. So I turned to sports and drove myself to perform the best I could. When my father would remind me of the worthless person he thought I was, I would go and run until my lungs could no longer take it, only to go back home and take it once more. I fought hard to stay and take it all in. I can proudly say I never ran away, and I will never run from my fears. SpringSpirit Baseball came at a point in time when I placed a knife to my veins and brought pain to myself. Saul Cortez, the current SpringSpirit facilities manager, and who I like to call my best friend, reminded me of the beautiful person I am. He still, to this day, reminds me of the greatest accomplishments and the strengths I contain. Kenny Baldwin, who is my support and mentor and who anyone out here would die to have as a guidance, has been with me every step of the way. Kenny, you are my idol. I fought all my life to stay on my feet, to slap away all the drug offers, to be the best athlete I could be. But never did I see the future being like it is today, nor did I ever think my love for God would be this strong. I lived every day in hopes I could just wake up another morning. As I grew closer and closer to SpringSpirit, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to be, and I knew where I wanted to go. SpringSpirit helped me pick the right university, and if it weren't for the very first scholarship SpringSpirit offered me, I would not have had the financial push I was missing. But as much as the financial support helped me, it's support I received from all of you that's gotten me this far, The small talks I get to have with some of you have pushed me to see my true potentials, and have helped me see that I have no limits. Knowing that I have a team of people who have my back, who are pulling for me, who are praying for me, who believe in me, keep me going. Today, I continue to fight, but it's different this time. I no longer fight alone. My relationship with the Lord is much different now. I used to hate God, and it hurts to even say that. But today, I love him. My love for God has helped me love my brothers and sisters. As for my father, I've forgiven him. And if he ever gets to see this, I hope he doesn't think any different of me. Because even when he verbally abused his little princess, when I looked into his eyes, I saw my father. I love the bond we have now, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I've held his hand through cancer, and I wouldn't ever dare let go. The best part of it is, through it all, God held my hand. He never once let go of me, even when he felt my hate. He helped me love my father, and most of all, he helped me love myself. There's only so much I can say about my struggles, and only I will ever know the things I lived through. Everyone has battle scars. They will never go away. But they are a constant reminder of what you all are capable of overcoming with God's help. I didn't want to mention this because I like to keep my prayers private, but I pray. I pray and thank God every day for sending me people like you. But I also thank him for placing me around people like my father. God knows my strengths, and he knew I can change my father's heart. At this point, he isn't perfect, but he isn't who he used to be. If he were here in this room today, I would thank him. Thank him for being a part of my story, because he is part of the reason I have no fear to sweat and succeed. I could have never chosen this route without the help of SpringSpirit. If it was the hand a baby needs to hold when taking their first step. It was the push a child needs when riding their bike for the first time. It was the mirror I needed to use in order to see the powerful, beautiful, strong, and smart woman I've become. I have a lot of people to thank, and I can never thank everyone, but I do want to thank Solar USA for opening the first door I needed to start interning. And I also want to thank Southampton, which was my second internship. These people opened doors for me even before I had any experience, and I thank you for that, allowing me to use my personality, my passion, and my drive to work to prove to you, to others, and to myself what I'm capable of doing. Thank you, Saul. Thank you for being the friend I never had as a child, for giving me a father's kind and beautiful words. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you for being the hero I thought God would never send. I have come to know God's love, forgiveness, and hope through all of you. I am Yesenia Hernandez, studying to be a chemical engineer at Lamar University. I'm in my third year now, and I hope to be the best chemical engineer possible. I also hope to help the kids who need the push I receive, just like SpringSpirit helped me. Without the help, the love, and the guidance of SpringSpirit, and those who help me now, I will never be the strong, I would not be the strong woman that stands here today. So for that, I thank you.